Hi, this is Ash Wechter. I'm doing another review of a Facebook ad and a landing page, which is part of somebody's funnel. And this is for a podcast business. So first, let's take a look at the Facebook ad. All right, so it's the name of the company is Podcast Creator Network. Okay, they're leading with 5 simple steps to launch your podcast without the overwhelm or tech stress. Secrets from award-winning producer. Um, okay, that's pretty good. Um, I just unfortunately I see everybody calling themselves award-winning, so I would probably back it up with something. Okay, so let's move, and then that's all the content they have on this ad. This is probably one of the shortest ads I've ever seen. Then they get a picture of this girl doing a podcast, showing like demonstration that she's doing it, which is great. Okay, and then it says launch your podcast in 5 simple steps. Okay, well that's a great promise. That sounds good. And then it says down below, it says start reaping rewards from launching your podcast in 5 simple steps. All right, I had done this before and read it before, and this is just really, really awkward. Start reaping rewards from a launching your podcast in 5 simple steps. I think there's some wording issues. All right, so we're going to go to learn more. I want to learn more. And then we get to there's their landing page. And just like their ad, their landing page is quite short. It's very, very short and sweet. So we're just going to go through this from top to bottom. Attention, coaches, and entrepreneurs. Um, that sounds great. You're reaching out people. I probably would have done it. I guess you can kind of do it in a way on Facebook. I know there's certain rules and stuff like that, and I haven't been up to date on a lot of that. But here again, you can obviously coaches and entrepreneurs. That's great. You're calling them out. Launch a podcast that you can use to get more customers and scale your business. Um, Sounds good. The promise before was launch it 5 simple steps. Here you have it down here, but it'd be nice to be up here. And then also it's a little using too many words because they mean the same thing. Like get more customers and scale your business. Kind of the same thing. If you're getting more customers, you're probably scaling your business. And if you're scaling your business, you're probably getting more customers. So you're kind of saying the same thing. And this is one of the things that really bothers me about, I guess, amateur copywriters. I mean, people are just lacking words and they feel like they got to fill the space and they don't really know what they're doing. So what I would do, going back to this ad, is 5 simple steps to launch your podcast. That's what got me into it, right? Launch your podcast in 5 simple steps. This is the promise that you promised me. This is why I'm clicking on it. So launch a podcast in 5 simple steps. This is to be the headline. Launch your podcast in 5 simple steps so you can get more customers. Period. Or you can say, or launch your podcast so you can scale your business. And then I would say something, I don't know, probably something else, get them really, really excited. But 5 simple steps, something about money or something, getting more customers. I mean, maybe they don't want, I would probably stick to scale your business because maybe they're not trying to get more customers. Maybe they're just trying to broaden their reach or something to that effect. Anyway, so I would say I would stick to the scale your business. Okay, let's move down to the next line. Grab your free podcast launch guide from an award-winning podcast producer to learn. Okay, so I don't really know, again, the award-winning podcast producer. I mean, I guess it's a big secret. I don't know. And if it is, maybe they should say something to that effect. Okay, to learn the 5 steps to launch your podcast so you can attract amazing guests that people cannot wait to listen to. All right, that's a good promise. I don't know if I would say people cannot wait to listen to it. I would, the waiting at the edge of their seat to get on there or listening to or something to that effect. They're eager, cannot wait. It's kind of like Gotta have to think about it. I know people say that in their normal speaking, but it's I don't know. It's kind of weird to see it in words, and also it just seems a little wordy. Okay, second promise: how to get your podcast on Spotify and Apple effortlessly, so you can go global. Okay, that's great. Spotify, people want to be on Spotify, be on Apple. Um, I don't know if global is really the promise everybody wants because some people might be just regional or local or national, right? They may not need to be global. I mean, in fact, they may not even want to be global. They might not want, a big audience in the Philippines when their customers are in California or something to that effect. So um, I would just be careful what you say. I would say so you can, you know, get a bunch of people knocking down your door on your website, beating a path to your website to sell your products or whatever. Again, this is a lot of copywriting that people just aren't putting a lot of thought into. Okay, so let's go to the third one. Proven strategies to create buzz and attract listeners that turn prospects into paying clients. That's a really good promise. I like that. Proven strategies, create a buzz, attract listeners, turn prospects into paying clients. I love it. That's really good. That's a really good promise. Okay, so before I get to the call to action, I'm just going to go over the one of the things that I noticed on the ad. Okay, so looking back at the ad, I'm looking at the ad. They get this woman, she's on a podcast, looks great, it's a really appealing ad. And then you get here, and there's not a lot of message matching. Message matching means you want to have the same, kind of headline or image or something like that to kind of associate the two. And we got a completely different image of this woman here. And granted, in Facebook, they're probably testing a bunch of different images to see which one people are clicking through. I totally get it. Um, and then, maybe the headline they're testing. I don't know. But I would, this ad just really, it doesn't totally match what you're saying. And here's their, I guess, podcast creator network. I would just, if you're doing a lot of these tests on landing pages and ads, I would just put podcast creator network up here, something like that. I'm not a huge branding person, like you got to put your brand everywhere, but at least get that where people can make the connection. Because right now, this page looks like just some generic page that somebody's just putting up to collect names, and things like that. So it almost seems a little skeevy in a lot of ways. Let's click on the private policy. Um, all right, well, it's okay. Just gonna whiz through it real quick. Kind of would look through it. I mean, contact us. There's no physical address. Um, anyway, it just it just doesn't come off as being kind of you know a real business, so to speak. Okay, so I went through this before. I clicked on this, and then you get to this page. So after you put in your name and email. Actually, let me go back to this because I want to show you. It is simple, and I really like this. Yes, I want my podcast launch guide. Great, beautiful. Actually, what I would I would reiterate something about the 5 steps or something like that. Yes, I want my podcast launch guide so I can launch my podcast in 5 simple steps. Kind of reiterate it because that's what you said in the ad. The podcast launch guide could be, maybe something else or something bigger than 5 steps. Okay, click on it. You get your name, you get your email. Send my free copy podcast launch guide. Great. I'm not a robot. Beautiful. Discover the proven formula and entrepreneurs just like you use to launch podcasts. Beautiful. The only thing I would say on this one, you'll notice here it says free copy. Here it does not. So I would just reiterate free copy on here. This is free. I mean, up here it says free, which is great. Just to reiterate, free. Okay, so click on that. Get to this page, which is a nice, it's a nice page to see after you opted in. Um, and says you're all set. Awesome, you're all set. I've just sent the podcast launch guides to your inbox. Please check your spam folder if you don't see it. And that's really good because I had opted in probably 5 minutes ago, and I did not see it in my inbox, and I didn't see it in my spam folder. So as of this recording, 10 minutes first time, I didn't see it. I'll check again before the end of this recording. Okay, I just checked my inbox again, so it's been a full 10 minutes since the first time I opted in. Haven't got my podcast launch guide, so I don't know. I guess they're wasting a whole lot of money on Facebook ads. So that's a problem, and a lot of businesses do that. They're not keeping track of their Facebook ads. They're not testing these things. They're not looking through their funnel or whatever. So I don't know why I didn't get it, but I don't have it, and I just went through the whole funnel process, and I don't see it. Okay. Um, so that's it. That's today's review, and thank you very much, and we'll see you next time.